Home prices in the community of Terramor have dropped 20% so far this year, and it's definitely not the news that homeowners were expecting. But what's causing home values to drop? Well, stick around and I'll walk you through the latest sales numbers to see what's really happening. Hi, my name is Casey, and today I'm looking at the third quarter sales numbers for the 55 and older sections of Terramor here in Corona, California. And to be honest, it's been a tough few months for homeowners here in Terramor. But let's start off and take a look at the average sales price. And the average sales price of a home here in Terramor dropped to $689,000. And home sales range between a low of $572,000 up to a high of $830,000. But that's a drop of 7% from the second quarter when the average was $741,000. And that's a drop of value of about $52,000. And when you look back to where we started at the beginning of 2025, the average sales price was $865,000. So that's a drop of 20% so far this year, or about $176,000 in value. Now, before we jump to any conclusions, let's look at the rest of the stats to see what's driving these numbers down. And let's take a look at the total number of homes that were sold. And in the third quarter, we had a total of 15 homes sold in the 55 and older sections of Terramor. And this is almost exactly the same as the second quarter when we had 14 homes sold. Next, let's look at the average days on market. And the average time it took to sell a home here in Terramor was 84 days. And this is exactly the same as what we saw in the last quarter. And finally, let's see how many homes are currently for sale. And right now, the number of homes currently for sale in Terramor is 13. And this is down from 23 in the last quarter. Okay, so let's go back and dig a little deeper and see if we can figure out what's happening with home values. Now, like I just said, in the third quarter, we had 15 homes sold in the community. But if you look closer, 6 of these homes were in the Cedarwood section. So that means 40% of the homes sold were actually in Cedarwood. But you have to remember, these homes are smaller and priced lower than most of the other homes in the community. And this did have an impact on the average sales price. And if we remove these 6 homes that were sold in Cedarwood and just look at the remaining 9 homes, the average sales price jumps back up to $742,000. And that's almost exactly the same as what we saw in the second quarter. So this tells us that the smaller homes sold in the third quarter did push the average sales price lower. Plus, of the remaining 9 homes that were sold, 2 had been on the market for over a year, and both of these eventually sold for well below their original asking price. One of these homes started off at $810,000 and eventually sold for $725,000. So that's $85,000 less than the original asking price. And the other home was originally listed at $879,000, and this one eventually sold for $735,000. And that's $144,000 less than their original asking price. Now, in both of these cases, these homeowners had to move due to personal reasons. And in a senior community, these things do happen. But when a home sits on the market for this long, most buyers assume there's something wrong with it, and they simply shy away. And when this happens, it drives the price lower and lower. So those 2 homes did have a negative impact on the average sales price here in Terramor. But when you combine these 2 homes that were on the market for over a year, along with the fact that 40% of the homes that were sold were smaller homes in Cedarwood, it does help to explain why the overall average dropped. But there is one piece of good news that I'm seeing in the real estate market. Mortgage rates have continued to trend downward. And at the start of the year, rates were right around 8%. But they've dropped into the low 6% range in the past few weeks. And if rates continue moving lower, as many experts predict, we could see mortgage rates in the high 5% by the end of the year. And that would be great news for both buyers and sellers as we head into 2026. So yes, the numbers for this quarter aren't good, but there is reason for some optimism as we head into the final months of the year. But the real estate market is constantly changing. So if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, I'd be happy to walk you through your options and try to make sense of the numbers. And you can call me or text me at the number up on the screen, and all of my information is located down in the description below. And if you're curious if Trilogy at Glen Ivy has experienced the same kind of price drops that we are, I just recorded a third quarter market update for that community too, and you can check it out by clicking here.